loved Israel. That's why he gave them the commandments, so they could be his own people. And yet today we see the religious leaders trying to trap Jesus by asking him which is the greatest of all the commandments. He had 613 to choose from. And yet Jesus' answer, once again, is important not just for those leaders of Israel, but for us today. The law was never meant to be placed in opposition. Rather, it was an expression of God's love for his people and the way that they could love him. God loves everyone. And so we see in Jesus' teaching today that there are two commandments. In fact, there are only one. Love of God and love of neighbour are intimately bound up because in Jesus, God became our neighbour. That's why Jesus is able to say, whatever you did to the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you've done it to me. He says to Paul, Paul, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And we know that St. Paul was able to then realize this great insight and say, it's no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. God lives in us. And we're invited to see God in our neighbour. Sometimes we only see their faults. This week, let's have a review of how we're seeing people, their gifts, their makeup, and is it God that we see or something else?